Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress of Comic News, episode 203. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host, Mike.
Hey.
I think I had something to say before your name, but then I hit the mic with my
You
hat
headbutted
again.
the mic as you said 3, and I was like, damn, he's really excited about the number 3. That was awesome to watch.
Excited about that Modok trailer is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I mean, you can't wait to talk about that. But today on the show, we have very special guest, John Della Rose. We're going to talk about his awesome project on Indiegogo, Days Vault, and stick around for that. But before that, I guess we'll just jump into the news because Chris wants to talk about Modok, so got to get there, huh? Your dreams are finally coming true. I'm happy for you, buddy.
As a wise man once said, things are turning up Millhouse around here.
Amazing. And I'm getting a Crime Syndicate #1 next week, so
dude, I'm stoked about that. So not only are the books coming out this coming week really good, but I was just doing the research for top 5 for the following week.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, Batman Urban Legends comes out.
Ooh, yeah.
New Superman with soon-to-be superstar Philip Kennedy Johnson's coming out.
Yep.
Daredevil's coming out. I know you don't like Daredevil, but Black Hammer Visions 2 with Jeff Johns is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And Space Bastards 3 is coming out. So, spoiler alert for my top 5 because I just gave it to you.
Yeah. You just heard it here first. Awesome. Comics. The snow is melted and comics are heating up. Let's go. All right. And Berserker next week. That book, it's like every week. I'm like, is it this week? No, it's next week. Oh, is it next week? Is that the Keanu Reeves book?
Yeah, this week's great too. Like High Republic 3's coming out.
Yep.
We'll talk about it later because we may have gotten early editions of it. But Noctera #1's coming out. Suicide, dude. Comics are good.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if everybody realizes, but comics are good.
Yeah, they're good. Anyways, let's talk about TV news. Screw comics. No, I'm just kidding. Netflix released a quick teaser trailer for Jupiter's Legacy series. It also gives us a release date of May 5th. Out of nowhere, May 5th, we're getting Jupiter's Legacy. We're getting the Millerverse finally, right? What do you think?
Yeah, the trailer was the most ridiculous thing ever because it was just like a CG like zoom out of a building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But all I saw was at the end, May 5th, Jupiter's Legacy. It was like, I know nothing about the show because I can't remember there being casting or any kind of announcements.
Yeah. And I think at this point, they're going to be like, is this The Boys?
I'm down for it. Like,
I'm down for it. Yeah.
We both read Jupiter's Legacy as it came out, and it's such an amazing series. So bring it on.
Yeah, they can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Mark Miller is really good at world building. We've seen it with several movies tied to his property. So yeah. And I was just saying, like, Netflix doesn't have anything to watch lately. I mean, like, HBO has been killing it. Hulu has been killing it. Disney Plus. But I will say Netflix or like HBO, and this is my favorite rant I've been told today, but HBO Max and Disney Plus, you need to step up your interface for the the app, because the amount of times it's crashed on me just looking for a movie or something like that, I'm like, this should not be happening.
Well, and this is basic app building 101, everybody. Right. So anybody wants to make an app to do these kinds of things, listen to me here. When I click on the show, it should bring me to the episodes.
Right. It shouldn't just play
If it's under my continue to watch, you should still go to a section that goes to the episode, and then underneath it has the rest of the episodes for the season. You shouldn't just launch the damn episode.
Yeah, right.
Especially when you're trying to watch really bad Batman cartoons and you don't want to watch it over and over again because they're really bad. You just want to watch the one you have to watch.
Yep. No, makes sense. But anyways,
as far as Netflix, literally, I think the best thing they've come out with in the past this year is The Crew, and that's only good because I like what's his name, the Kevin James.
Oh yeah,
and I'm a sucker for sitcoms. Other than that, they've been they need to step up their game.
Not a huge Kevin James fan. But anyways, Hulu, talking about stepping up their game, released a trailer for the upcoming Modok series, and we're getting that May 21st. March and May are going to be solid for what we can stream on TV. So, what do you think?
Obviously, when this trailer came out, I watched it multiple times and just sat in my room alone doing things that we can't talk about on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved it. Like, it was, we got that clip earlier, or actually it was San Diego Comic-Con last year, the virtual one.
Yeah.
And that was great. This is just more of that. It's got that Robot Chicken vibe. It's got Patton Oswalt style humor in it. It's got Modok, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
I want this so bad.
Yeah, and I'm excited too. I really like the style.
Can all the people out there just do me one favor? As soon as this show is done, because I don't know if it's released all at one time or if it's week to week, but when this show's done, then you can destroy the world. But at least let me get to May 21st to watch one episode of Modok.
Yeah, just let it happen. Yeah, and then you could do whatever you want to the world, and then it
can blow up. It's fine.
Yeah.
After that, I'm good. I can die happy watching a Modok TV show.
Yeah, and then we got Disney Plus announcing release dates for 2 upcoming series. Star Wars Bad Batch is going to release on May 4th. What?
Star Wars Day?
Out of nowhere. Like, okay. And then Loki will release on June 11th. Okay. Awesome.
It's a good year for TV. May, I'm going to be ridiculously busy.
Yeah. Like, what do you do in May? Oh, I'm sitting at home. Oh, so you're not doing anything? No, I'm watching things.
No, like, literally, this is what's going to happen is May 1st, Biden's going to come out and be like, the virus is over. Everybody go back. Do
outside.
All you want to do. Be happy and celebrate. And I'll be like, fuck that. I got this Bad Batch and Modok to watch.
Wait, I can't. I'm going to stay on the couch.
Like, can you give me another month, Biden? Come on.
Yeah. I keep seeing that meme on the internet of, I sound so old when I say that. Hey, have you seen that meme on the internet, Chris? Oh my god. I sound like an old man.
Welcome to my life.
But it was like a old Renaissance painting of like a topless woman, and it was like, this pandemic has made me realize why every Renaissance painting is like someone laying on a couch with their tits out. It's like, just like couch potato for sure. Speaking of watching things on the couch, we watched WandaVision this week, right?
Yeah, I did.
One more episode, huh? This is things are getting wild in WandaVision. Another great episode. Chris, I want to hear your thoughts because my buddy Patrick texted me and was like, you got to let Chris know this is how you do. His direct quote was, "This is how you do a fucking origin story," or "This is how you fucking do an origin story." So I want to hear your thoughts. How were you dealing with an origin story 8 episodes into a season? So let me hear this.
What I think this origin story is the birth of mutants in the MCU.
Okay.
So we basically go through all of Wanda's biggest moments in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And that first moment where where we relive the moment from Age of Ultron.
Yep.
And the Stark missile comes in, they kind of say, like, it wasn't just coincidence. You made that happen, which makes it think that she always had the power all along. So maybe the mutants in the MCU have an X gene, but something outside of them has to trigger
it. Yep. There has to be.
And whether that's emotional distress, whether that's an Infinity Stone, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's what they're doing there. I'm fine with them doing an origin for Scarlet Witch because it's not Batman.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And as far as going back through her big moments, like, I like the way they did the moment of her when she joined Hydra and she got to touch the Infinity Stone.
Yep.
Like, reliving that and seeing a different perspective, that was good.
They kind of rewrote the whole origin, but not a bad way, right? I mean, it wasn't like the whole continuity thing. It was like, yeah, well, she had... And it makes sense, too. It's like, a missile hits a home and your parents die, but you're still alive. Like, how does that happen? Well, she had the gene the whole time.
Yeah. And then two other quick things with that. I liked the kind of the birth of her and Vision's like romance.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene to watch. Like their first interaction of like she was feeling lonely and he felt a need to like comfort her, right? So
and then the thread to bring it all together, not only this episode but the whole series, was the fact that from a child till she grew older, what was the thing that she shared with her parents and that she brought with her even after people in her life had died?
The sitcoms. Yeah, dude.
The exact sitcoms that they mimic
right
throughout the show.
What a way! And we still have one more episode to go, but there's a couple more things I want to touch on. There's that whole thing with rewriting the continuity, and we got the origin for what's her name, the villain, I can't remember. Agatha. That was a pretty cool, like, the witches burning thing. I thought that was a really cool scene to start off with. I really liked to see her like in the olden times, like, oh, she was just an outcast from the other witches, like that's pretty interesting to see. And then at the end, we get evil Vision.
So real quick too, to go back to the origin thing, I want to say this is how comics used to do origins too.
Right.
Introduce a character, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. 20 issues in. Oh yeah, by the way, bitten by a radioactive spider.
Right. Right. It's not a new thing. But also, the explanation for like getting Pietro back was like, oh, this is some random dead dude that I revived. Was like kind of funny too. I'm like, wow, did she just like casually talks about necromancy? No big deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and she makes the joke about like I would have brought back the real Pietro, but necromancing from that far away would be tough. Plus, he's got all those holes in him. And
he's got a bunch of holes, and I was like, what the hell?
He is not holding the punches.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
So the Vision thing at the end. Mm-hmm. Well, also, sorry, we didn't bring this up. There's kind of a clash.
Yep.
That early on they made it seem like Wanda just broke in and stole Vision and ran away.
Right.
Which is not what happened.
Yep.
Because in this one we learn what really happened, and there seemed to be a very friendly yet a little bit combative back and forth between Wanda and the guy who was running Sword. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really wondering what's going on with him in the background, because he's really pushing like, she did wrong.
Right. And that's not what happened. She didn't steal him. He was pretty much disassembling him and like pissed Wanda off, was not sugarcoating it at all. And
which is, I like the way they did that scene, because from Wanda's point of view, he's an asshole, but when you look at his point of view, like he's not wrong either.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, he's definitely not wrong. Like the government owns Vision, right? And
yeah, he's like a very powerful weapon, and plus, at the end, he's like, it's like $3 billion in vibranium.
Right. You can't just bury the crap. Yeah.
So I'm wondering what's going on there, and then we get to that end credit scene. First of all, I want to say that was an homage to old Vision comics, or at least old Avengers comics, because if you go back to really old Avengers comics, there's literally panels of people shooting Vision with lasers. Because that's how he got his power.
That's awesome.
Was by absorbing like energy and like radiation stuff. Okay. So I think really that's what they're going for.
Oh wow.
I wonder if that's the real Vision though. I think they resurrected Vision.
Oh.
Because when Wanda goes to the house, the deed that Vision bought her.
Yep.
And builds the house and creates the reality. Mm-hmm. You see her create Vision out of whole cloth.
Right.
She doesn't get his body and create him.
Right.
So I think that's Vision's body that they're resurrecting.
Oh, that's the original Vision, and she just has something.
And she has something that she created out of whole cloth.
Oh.
That's my thought. So I don't know if it's an evil Vision, but it's a Vision.
Yeah. I was hoping we're gonna get like a Terminator style fighting. Or like Rambo versus Rambo in the show, not Sylvester Stallone Rambo, but
I'm interested because we got one episode left and we have a lot of threads to tie.
Yeah, but it kind of ties into Rambo's new powers, right? It almost looks like she converts energy, and you said that's how they're giving Vision all this energy. We know like vibranium, it like takes energy and reverts it back, but she might be the key to holding him off or defeating him is like she can do the same thing almost. So it's all tying together. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
they also confirm what I had said, and 1,000 people had said, but what I had said about her kids, where in the comics she had created those kids out of the pure ability of magic,
Right.
and those kids are real, and she did create them.
Yep.
So there's a lot of cool things going on here. I want more of, but I'm like, we have one episode left, so
I know. Give me more.
great show. Great show.
Amazing show. And let's talk about movies. We finally, after all the trolling on the internet, we got the Marvel announced the upcoming Spider-Man movie will be titled Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm guessing he's either in space or he's in the multiverse, right?
He's stuck in the multiverse, 100%. I have no doubt in my head that that's what's going on.
Yes.
You have what's going on in WandaVision.
Yep.
Your next big movie outside of Black Widow is Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
And then Spider-Man. And we've already seen, like, Electro from Amazing Spider-Man's coming in, and Doc Ock from Spider-Man's coming in, and, you know, this J. Jonah Jameson, we don't know who this is. Like,
right.
Is he the one that's been here all along, or is he from a different universe? So, what I'm saying is, I think this is multiverse related, and I think we both said with the last Spider-Man movie, like, it's our favorite Spider-Man movie at the very least, if not one of our favorite MCU movies. So,
yeah,
of course, we're excited.
Oh yeah, and I want Sam Raimi to be involved again. Like, if we're getting a multiverse, like, I mean, yeah, he's doing Multiverse of Madness, but like, maybe get him involved a little bit with the, like, maybe they consulted him a little bit for this movie. I don't know. I mean, they got him in part of the team, right? So
yeah, he's in Multiverse of Madness, so
yeah,
he's definitely involved in, like, the plot threads that are going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally, it would be nice. I love Sam Raimi. I love his work.
Mm-hmm.
But what this new team has been doing with Spider-Man, I say let them be.
Yeah.
Like, let them do their thing. I'm cool with tying it in with what Raimi's doing, but I think they know what they're doing, and let them be.
Okay. All right. I'll let you have that one.
Yeah.
I'm just a huge Sam Raimi fan. You know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is interesting too. Warner Media is looking to reboot Superman in an upcoming film. This version of Man of Steel is said to be a man of color, and has J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates attached to it. Sure, I have no problem with this. I'm gonna miss Henry Cavill as Superman. We love Henry Cavill as Superman. If you want to do a Superman of color, though, if you want to reboot Superman, do it. Yeah, we don't, like, I'm cool with him being a person of color. I think that's awesome. If you're gonna reboot it, do it for a reason, right? And I think that I think that's a great reason. I think that's, why not? You know,
I think there's nothing about Superman that says white guy.
Exactly. Right.
But I'm with you. I kind of want. I mean, Henry Cavill's never coming back for a full movie, so
yeah, right.
Let's put it there.
Yep. Why'd you have to say that out loud, you son of a bitch?
I'm that guy. That's why.
I know.
I wonder if this is a different multiverse Superman, though. Like, we have had Black Superman before,
right?
In Grant Morrison's run in Action Comics, there was one, and then in Tom Taylor's Earth 2, there was one as well. They weren't Clark Kent, Kal-El, but they were Black Superman.
Right.
So I wonder if that's the route they're going, or if they're literally just going to say, no, Clark Kent, Kansas, black guy. Whatever they do, as long as it's a good story, I'm cool with it.
And the thing that, like you said, nothing about Superman says white guy. It's like the premise of Superman is he looks like one of us. And there's been a lot of people that have seen Superman that are probably like, well, he doesn't look like one of me. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like my specific group of people. So I think it's great. I mean, and the fact that J.J. Abrams is involved, it'll be a great first movie for sure. Well, I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to shit on J. I love J.J. Abrams, and I've loved everything that he's done. Just don't let it go on for 9 seasons, and then leave him in limbo. I'm talking about you, Lost. But anyways, I think,
I think
if
his company is involved. I don't know. Like
okay,
his name's attached because his
yeah,
company's doing it. I don't know if he's directing it though. That would be
okay,
interesting
yeah,
because it would be
Because,
a 180 from Snyder.
yeah, and we would definitely get a nod to Richard Donner's Superman. There's no way he would ever like not give that section of movies, a little bit of at least a I don't know some type of love letter. I would feel
Yeah.
like. Um, yeah, I mean, this is good news. This is interesting news to me. I like that Warner Brothers is seeing this as an opportunity to do stuff like this. I don't care. Just give me more DC movies, and don't mess it up.
This is my only thing, Warner. You had a chance to do this about 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the man who wanted to do it was a man by the name of Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Somebody better be on the phone with him to do
Yep.
that.
Yep. Please, because there isn't anybody else.
He's such a good actor.
He is.
Like it would be perfect in every way.
Yep. No, I agree. I love Michael B. Jordan, and as Superman, why not? We talked about this. I mean, wasn't like when Creed was popular, we were talking about him like he would, and like Earth 2 Society, like he could have been that Superman for sure.
Well, yeah, that's what it was like 2 or 3 years ago. He was
Yeah.
running around saying like, "I want to do that. I want to
Yeah,
do that
right.
guy." Was it Val? Is it Val Zod?
Yeah, Valzad. Yeah.
He wanted to do that version of Superman, and everybody's just like, "Just let him do it." Like, who
Yeah,
cares?
right. Right. Well, he's got a name for himself now, so
Yeah.
but anyways, yeah, so some good news this week, but let's jump to this awesome interview with John and talk about Days of Vault, and we'll see everybody on the other side.
And we're back.
Awesome. So yeah, everyone check out this awesome project, and the art is really cool. I mean, I'm looking to order it right after this episode. So
Yeah, I've been getting really into old Conan, like the stuff he talked about, 70s and 80s Conan, Roy Thomas, and a bunch of others.
Yeah,
and I get hard vibes from that
yeah.
era of Conan, so I'm really into this.
Plus, it's the Catwoman that really grabbed him, but it's all right.
It is, as long as there's a butthole in there, I'm good.
Oh my god, it really freaks you out, huh? You jumped on that Kevin Smith train.
Well, did I ever tell you my my Force Awakens story about that?
No.
So, okay, when Star Wars Force Awakens came out, I was a single man.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the midnight show by myself. And I sat down, and I just happened to be sitting next to two very lovely young ladies around the same age as me. And at the end of the movie, they like ran away from me because I was crying because I was so happy. But B, in the middle of the movie, and it's actually like right in the beginning when they're running through Jakku.
Yeah.
And they come across that giant monster with like the tongue slurping up.
Yeah,
I just look up and I'm like, it has a butthole. And one of them looks over at me like, what the fuck?
They're like, this guy is a creep. Oh my god. You never told me that story. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I would have been like, what the fuck? I would have known what you meant, but
I was so excited. I was like, where's my friends to say like, hey, look at the butthole, everybody.
High five, everybody high five. It's like, we got one.
And then you all could have abandoned me when I started crying too.
Yeah. If anybody's confused about that, that all stems from like, I've never thought about that, but Kevin Smith had always talked about how Jurassic Park always freaked him out because the dinosaur CG, they never just gave him a butthole.
Yeah.
They gave us a giant mound of shit and a whole scene about that. Anyways, let's talk comic news. Marvel has announced that Deadpool is getting his own black, white, and red series. I can't imagine what they're really mimicking there. We know that the first issue will release in August, and that Declan Shalvey is doing one of the stories. So that's obviously a nod to the Batman black and white stuff, right?
Yeah, and they've been. It started with Wolverine. It was black, white, and red, and now they're doing Carnage, black, white, and blood.
Oh,
and then this is another one. Yeah, it's a shot at that. It's a shot at Harley Quinn, black, white, and red. It's
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
it's
I mean, if
Deadpool.
you're a
So
Deadpool fan, yeah, you'll read it for sure. Here we go.
Mike's
DC
excited, everybody.
DC is teaming up with Fortnite for a new digital first limited series. The series will be called Batman / Fortnite 0 Point, written by Christos Gage and art by Riley Brown, Christian Duce, Nelson DeCasto, and John Calise. Whatever. I mean, there's big fans of Fortnite. Are they going to jump into comics because of Fortnite? Maybe. That's cool if you want to get more people in comics. I'm not going to read this personally. I did buy, like, when I knew the Batman skins were for sale on Fortnite, I bought them just to have them because I'm a huge Batman fan, but, like, I don't play the game anymore. I mean, your sons are playing it, right? Fortnite still? Or
Yeah, and my feeling of this is it's not for me, it's not for you, but
right.
There's hundreds of thousands of people that read comics.
Yep.
There's tens of millions of people that play Fortnite. So
Right.
if we can steal a couple of them, especially the kids,
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and get them in this way, like, I'm not saying that tens of millions of people are going to jump over to comics because of this, but, like, who knows? Maybe tens of thousands do when they're young and they're kids, and they keep it alive. So that when you and I are in a nursing home together, still reading Batman,
Yeah.
we're like, thank God Fortnite got those kids into it.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's why I try not to shit on things as much as I used to as a young lad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a seasoned veteran of shitting on things now. But let's talk about what we read this week, Chris.
I have a feeling we crossed over on everything.
So really quick, Generations Forged came out. I got about halfway through it, and I was like, "There's a lot of comic here."
Did you read the first one?
No,
Generation Shattered.
if I did, I don't remember. So
I bought Generations Forged, but it's mostly because I'm insane.
Right.
I read Generation Shattered, and I was kind of like,
yeah,
but I wanted to see where it ended. So
yeah.
But that was the one that was teaming up like the Green Lantern, Sinestro, and
Right.
Detective 27 Batman, and Commandy. And
Yeah, I started reading this, and that's why I remembered what it was. I was like, oh no, Commandy's in this book, and that's kind of what, like, I put it down, and then I read everything else for the week. So I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I didn't finish it.
I didn't get a chance to read it because that's a book where I was like, I'm probably not going to enjoy this, but I wanted to see where it's going, so I'll just read it later in the week.
I will talk about a number one I read that was pretty awesome. Stray Dogs #1, Image Comics, because there's a dog on the cover. It was literally the reason I was like, and it's called Stray Dogs.
Solid reasoning.
Yeah, Tony Fleeks and Trish Forstner on the art. Basically, this dog gets brought to a new home with lots of other dogs. We start off the issue with, like, it going to the vet, and obviously you can talk to the other dogs after it goes to this new foster home for dogs. As like the day progresses, it starts to remember, like, the new owner. They're like, oh, this owner is great. We get to all sleep in the room with him, and we get there's a shit ton of dogs in this home, like 12 dogs, and the owner, like, comes to, like, wrap the new dog up with, because it looks cold, and gives the dog a scarf, and realizes, oh, it's her owner's scarf, and that her owner was strangled with it, and that's what happened. Is this guy is murdering people and taking their dogs. But the dog wakes up in the morning and can't remember really anything about it, because I think certain dogs have short-term memory loss or something like that. So and that's how it starts off, is like, she was the one dog has a friend that confided, like, believes her that the owner's a killer. Mm-hmm. She wakes up, and then the friend's like, well, what happened about that story? She's like, what story? So it was a pretty good, solid first issue. If you like dogs, if you like murder mysteries, pretty cool.
So dogs have a very weird memory. You know, when you have a dog and you leave for work and you come home and the dog acts like, holy shit, I can't believe you're back.
Right.
It's because they think that you left them. Like, they forget that you're, like, the guy that feeds them every night. And like, holy shit, he's back.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's why you get that unconditional love.
That's what a scientist told me once.
Yeah. I love dogs. Future State Suicide Squad #2. This is Robbie Thompson and Javier Fernandez on the art. Uh, pretty pretty awesome. And then there's the Black Adam part 2 of this. Yeah, so Waller successfully seals her plan is to seal off Earth 3 from everything like the multiverse, right? She wants to protect it, I guess, from invasions. And almost everyone dies on the Justice Squad and the Suicide Squad. Which, like she's blowing people up, but also she kind of orchestrated it that everyone dies except Connor. Even she dies in the end, but except for Connor Kent, Superman. And she basically says to him, like, I orchestrated this to protect the world, and now you can go on and be Superman and protect this Earth. It was a pretty cool story. And
I loved the ending.
Yeah, you did. I thought it was awesome. Yeah,
the ending where she's just like, not only did I protect the world and do what I seek to do,
yeah,
but you get to live out your dream. What you want to be, who you want to be. You get to be Superman for this world. And I was like, that.
It was pretty cool.
It was beautiful, man.
Yeah. And then we got the other really cool second half of the Black Adam story that ended with this is Jeremy Adams and Fernando Pasarin on the art. That issue ended off with Gold Beetle showing up, and so we get the whole origin of, like, she explains who she is and why she can help. She basically hangs out in the time stream with the linear police, I think they were called, right? She gets everybody out because there's like the unkindness and evil is taking over the world, so she brings them to hell to escape. And it's empty in hell except for the Phantom Stranger, who talks about Raven getting loose and releasing the unkindness onto the world and taking over things. So now we're talking about where this ties in with the Shazam story, where Raven was unleashed from hell. That's why hell's empty, is because they're gonna go kill everything now. So that was it. That was like the first tie-in I've really seen between books. I haven't been reading all of them, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he talks about Raven getting loose and the unkindness is destroying everything. Then he takes them to the Tower of Fate, where the quintessences is all that, like, pretty much the remaining magic users, who are they're the guardians of the multiverse. It's a lot of magic users, and there's this giant fight that happens. But it basically ends up with Black Adam. Like, the only way he can beat the evil is if he gives up his power and sacrifices himself to lock him away in hell, in his prison that he was in before. There's a lot of comic book science and magic going on here, but basically it was showing that, like, Black Adam, at the end of the day, he's still there to protect people. And I think they want us to go like he's going to end up locked away like he was before. And how is he going to get out of there, sealed away? So I guess we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, well, the rumor is, and we'll find out next week with Infinite Frontier #0, is that he's going to become kind of a heroic figure.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're setting him up for.
Crossover #4, man. This was the tie-in we wanted, baby. Donny Cates, Jeff Shaw. Basically, the group of heroes, they decide we need to get into the bubble somehow. How are we going to get into the bubble? Well, there's this hero museum in Earth where all the civilians like to gawk at all the items from superheroes, and so they go there. There's some cool fight scenes where I can't remember his name. Who's the guy?
Madman
does like that cool yo-yo thing where he beats everybody with the yo-yo. That's pretty cool.
I love that sequence because it's straight out of Madman comics.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So there ends up being so we find out that the heroes' powers are weakened the longer they're away from the bubble. That's why they can't get in there. So that's why they end up at the museum. There's this old woman there that's been waiting for them, though, and says, "Oh, I know your father and what you need," and brings her to this giant sword. And then we get this origin story for the giant sword and who this old woman is. Do you want to explain from there, Chris? Because this is pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's the sword from God Country,
Yeah, it is.
and she's the little girl. I love that right in the middle of this book, there's like, do you want to know who? It says, "What the hell is Valifax?"
Yeah.
And then it takes pages from God Country, inserts them into the book,
Yeah.
and then says, "Oh, if you want to keep reading, go buy the graphic novel, you slob."
Right. Yeah. Right. But what an amazing tie-in! So Valifax is a sword from the awesome series God Country, and that's really off. But there's also some other things going on. The father, the priest father of the kid who is working with the FBI, is um he has a superhero in the basement of his house, and he's like beating the crap out of him. I think he's trying to find a way into the bubble, I would assume, with that.
So, moment of ignorance here. I have no clue who that person is. Do you?
The superhero he's beating up?
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to know. I think it's just some random superhero A that he's going to get this info from.
Okay. I'm trying to. The entire time reading, I'm just like, I'm feeling like it's going to be an indie superhero.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And I'm just like, who is it? And I can't place it. And hopefully somebody can tell me one day.
Yeah. And then we get the government is stitching together their own Frankenstein superhero to send after the other heroes. I'm guessing, yeah.
With the greatest code name for a government program ever.
Yep.
The Amalgam Program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy.
And I think that's why the head of the guy gave him that bullet with like the kryptonite in it. I think that's who he's supposed to shoot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's all coming together now.
Because, they're not really supposed, like, obviously Donnie didn't get rights from DC and Marvel, so
right.
They're kind of different versions of these characters. But you see in the background Cyclops, essentially, and Hawkeye, and what looks like the Element guy from DC. I forget his name now. But the Amalgam thing looks like Hulk with, like, Spider-Man hands and things, legs, and it's weird, and I want to see more. I want to see 5. Such a good series.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm really liking it, especially now that they tied it to God Country. Okay, Legion of Superheroes will go pretty quick. This is number 2 by Bendis and Riley Rossmo on the art. It wasn't Element Lad that, destroyed all the worlds and stuff. It was actually Saturn Girl was behind it all, because Saturn Girl comes from the Titan people, who are pretty much a hive mind. So with the hive mind, they infiltrated the Legion throughout the years and caused all this fighting in between them, and with Element Lad doing all the crazy shit he was doing. So they developed a plan to go back to the home world of Saturn Girl where the Titanians live. But they basically developed a plan to cut them off from hurting anyone, and then John Kent shows up with all this space gear on, and then they're the Legion again. So you could tell that Bendis was kind of just like you said, he's like, the Legion's already in the future. What can I? So he basically gave us a thing like, all this stuff's going to happen, but Saturn Girl was behind it, and then we resolve it pretty quickly, and then John Kent's back. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was like kind of not necessary, right? So,
still waiting on that Legion of Superhero announcement for Infinite Frontier.
Yeah, no, Gold Lantern. What the hell? Come on. Future State Dark Detective number 4. This is Tamaki Mora, Tamaki and Mora on the Future State Detective, and then Red Hood number 2 with Williamson and Milo Giannis. So the Dark Detective story, Bruce gets Hannah and her father somewhere safe because the apartment is exposed to the magistrate. And we find out that Hannah is a programmer for Magistrate. That's why they've been keeping eyes on her. They blow up their apartment that they were living in. Batman and Magistrate fight. We find out that Magistrate's a normal guy. I thought he was just a robot. Pretty much Batman blows everything up, and that's how that story ends. So, I mean, nothing really crazy happening there. The Red Hood story was pretty cool. Red Hood grabs the Red Hood villain mask and goes back to the person that was controlling that Red Hood, and it ends up being the White Rabbit. Finding out that they needed the headpiece back because the White Rabbit has been working with the Magistrate. So then we find out the Magistrate is working with supervillains for some reason. Basically, she gets caught up with, he gets caught up with Magistrate, and there's a huge fight that happens with Ravager. She shows up because she actually, wants to help Red Hood after pretending that she didn't. And they beat them, and the Magistrate's like, oh, we fixed the system to where, you won't register as a vigilante anymore, because that was the whole thing of, like, he was registering as a vigilante, and that's why Magistrate and everybody was chasing after him. So, yeah, the Red Hood story was solid. The Dark Detective was okay. And that's what I had for the week.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Right, me?
A little bit.
Because
next I got Future State Superman versus Imperious Lex #2.
Okay.
Were you not reading this?
No, I'm not reading that book.
Oh, this is the Mark Russell Superman book.
Oh, it is? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's what I missed. Okay.
So,
I know that.
They end up letting Lexor into the United Planets, and Lois Lane has to go down and informs Lex of all the different things he has to do as part of the United Planets, which is a lot of, like, you share resources with us, we share resources with you, blah, blah, blah. And while doing this, they find this crystal in a mountain that's full of these crystals that are basically clumps of energy. So you can basically think of it as super coal. You burn one, and it can power everything for years upon years.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they're like, this will solve the energy crisis for the entire galaxy if we mine this. And when Lex gets a whiff of it, he's just like, well, fuck this. Like, it's mine. I'm going to sell it and get even richer. And then tries to force his way out of the United Planets. So the whole issue is, like, him conflicting with that. And in that conflict, Superman comes down. Mind you, Lexor's not dumb. He chose a planet with a red sun. So when Superman comes down, he has so much time to fight before he loses power. They have their fight, and then Lois comes in and saves the day. But in the fight, Superman's able to steal some of the crystal, and then goes back to the Fortress of Solitude and synthesizes it. So when Lex Luthor's sitting there like, haha, I won, and they're going to have to buy this from me, and I'm going to be rich. Yeah. His, like, butler comes over and is like, well, nobody bought any. And they flash over to Superman. He's like, yeah, I synthesized this. You gotta have it free. Fuck Lex Luthor.
That's a great story.
It's a really cool story of, like, political intrigue, and not like capital P politics, but lower key politics.
Right.
And how Superman perceives villains, and, like, the fact that neither him nor the United Planets nor Lois want to punish the planet as a whole that has millions upon millions of people who are basically brainwashed by Lex, but also fuck Lex Luthor.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really enjoyed the story so far. It says to be continued in the back. I thought it was 2 issues. Maybe it's 3. If it is, cool.
Okay.
But the story did kind of end.
Cool.
And then I got Future State, Superman House of L, which is a continuation of Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman. This is... In this version, Superman's very much an old man, and we kind of see his descendants and what they're doing. And they have a last stand where they have to hold off this horde that's been taking over planet by planet, and they have control of New Genesis and Apocalypse and so on and so forth. And so it's a lot of punchy, which I really liked. And then at the end, they have Brainiac 4 is helping them out, and he sends out this... the signals and tells them, like, we have one last hope, and right as he says that, he dies in classic, like, action movie sequence.
Yep.
Classic. And what that signal was is they found where Superman was, and so Kal-El at the end of the book comes in and basically saves the day.
Okay.
And then the big kind of behind the scenes intrigue to that is the person they were fighting against was this weird son of Superman, who they really quickly are just like, your mom basically stole my sperm and took off.
Yeah, classic story.
Without really saying that.
yeah. That's Kevin Smith's Superman right there.
Basically. But it got me excited because we talked about at the top of the show, Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman starts next week, and I'm I can't, say enough good things about his writing, so I'm excited for it.
Great. Awesome.
And then last week, I didn't get a chance to talk about it because I didn't get a chance to read it, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin #2 came out.
Okay.
And there's a lot of really cool things in here. First, we get how one of the brothers dies in this issue, and kind of what caused this future to happen, which is the Foot Clan went all out and killed Splinter.
Mm.
And then we get kind of the backstory of which brother was it? I forget. But one of the brothers dies, basically going all out against the Foot Clan. And in the present,
like a Donatello thing to do.
It was Donnie.
Yeah.
So in the present, we get that story, and in the present, we get Mikey and April kind of catching up. What's been happening, how they've been doing, blah, blah, blah. And we get this revelation that Mikey's still mutating. Like, it's not that he mutated once and then stayed that way.
Uh-huh.
Like, his body's still mutating, and he's even more powerful than he was before.
Oh.
And then he kind of tells the backstory of what happened after all of his brothers died. And that was a really cool sequence because Kevin Eastman actually did the art for it.
Oh.
So it's classic Mirage Turtles art. And then we end up finding out that April and Casey actually had a daughter together.
Oh, okay.
So now their daughter is talking to Mikey, saying, I grew up hearing stories about you, and I don't like these guys either. I'm going to help you out. And at the end of the book, we get a reveal that April has, I think his name is Calyx. I'm not the biggest Turtles fan in the world, everybody, so I'm sorry. But there was like a little robot that they had running around with them. I think his name was Calyx. And she pulls his head out of a safe and walks away. And that was the last panel of the book, was like her being like, look what I got. I really love this book. It's Dark Knight Returns with giant mutant turtles.
Right.
What's not to love?
That's awesome. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. But so that's all I had this week. Mike, where can people find you on that internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you, Andrew, the show?
Well, you can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and they can find the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter, also at FortressComicNews.com. Real quick, everybody, this Tuesday, check out Comic Book Rundown. I did a review of the original, not Captain America: The First Avenger, the 70s Captain America movie with the guys over there. And that's going to launch tomorrow.
Awesome.
So check that out. And all the other stuff. If you're listening to the show, give us a 5-star review or whatever way your podcatcher uses to review the show. And if you're watching us, to like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and all that fun stuff. So, and if you want to be the extra special awesome listener, patreon.com/fortresscomics. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.